Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I wrote down while you were talking, I think you just redefined business no matter what business we're in. Would anybody agree with that? Oh my gracious. Thank you.
Yeah. I have an idea.
Okay.
Can Matt come sit up here?
Matt can come sit up here.
So we've never done a speech together. I just think it'd be cool.
Come
If
on.
we're gonna have a little question answer thing. I think it makes. Is there like a handheld mic we can give this guy? Come sit up here. Come on.
It's a brother thing, right?
It's a brother thing, and
that's great.
I just have a hunch the answer to the questions you're going to ask me might work for both of us.
All theological questions will be passed to the left.
Excellent.
If I understand
Excellent.
how
Yes.
the deal works.
It's like a lifeline.
Was
Only
that
he's sitting
John?
next to me. Okay, hit me. I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is exciting. Thanks for being here. If you have a question, you text it to 77513. Text it to 77513. They'll appear on our screen, and we will ask the Canlis brothers your questions. Can I tell the Wanda story real quick?
Do it. Yeah, it's worth
I
doing.
just have
It's
to
worth
do
doing.
this. So I'm at Canlis Restaurant as a guest, and it was an unbelievable experience. Wanda is one of the servers. I ordered X, Y, and Z from the 4 courses that I'm to pick from, and one of the things was a salad, which I was thinking salad, whatever, salad, and out rolls this incredible cart full of many salad items, and they are going to be mixed together by Wanda, who is our server, and Wanda looks at my wife and I and says these words, "Mr. and Mrs. Leith, is this your first Canlis salad?" And I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe you're asking that question. And we say yes, and she says, "I'm very honored." So I was kind of wondering, how did we get Wanda to say that? So I asked Mark in the bar, how does this happen? And he says these words. I don't know if you remember what you said, but this is what you said. He said, "We figure if we take care of Wanda, she'll take care of you." That's not in the training manual. Isn't that interesting? We figure if we take care of Wanda, she'll take care of you, and she did. I thought, I wonder how, if someone calls into the convene office and someone said, "Is this your first time to interact with us?" or something like that, and they said yes, and one of our team members said, "I'm very honored." Just replace that concept in your business. So tell us maybe a little bit about
It's the answer to that question on the screen.
How does Wanda
there.
do that?
Question was, in hiring, is character or skill more important? Wanda's worked for us for 31 or 2 years. I lose track. Look, I can only speak for my own company. I don't care about skill. I don't think I can say it any clearer. I'm going to assume you have enough skills to survive. I'm not interested in an interview of you telling me you can cook. Either on the first day you'll chop off all your fingers and those are yours. You can keep them, take them home. It doesn't, everything else we can teach you. So we are in the people business. We're in the business of relationships. I am looking for people whose parents did a decent job on them or better, and who have the wherewithal to understand the world doesn't revolve around them. I am looking for character. And deeper than character, hope. So somebody who wants something. And if they want the same thing I want, it's probably going to go well. I want trustworthiness, generosity, and other-centeredness. If they're at all in that spectrum, we're wanting deeply the same things. It's going to go well. Generosity, by the way, is not in our vernacular a financial word in any sense. I think generosity is a function of character, not of circumstance. So when we say to our staff that you have to be generous, it is this ability to turn towards. It is generous of heart. I didn't clarify that earlier. So character trumps talent all day long. Now, we're not coding, right? So if we were just down the street at Amazon or at Microsoft, and I was hiring someone who needed to code all day long, and they didn't know how to code, but they were a swell person. That's probably not going to work. I'm not in that business. Yeah.
Okay, one of the next questions was for Mark, what's your greatest failure? Though you did share a number of
I tried to
things.
list off a bunch of them. Let's see.
Maybe Matt should answer that question.
I think last night we were talking about we were talking about our biggest disappointments. It has to do with marriage and with being the kind of men that we want to be at home. And it's very easy to be a hero at work. Work gets the best of you. It gets your very best hours, your waking hours, your prime energy. And then we come home, and then I think I read that one off. But my wife loves to bring up the fact that my values are trustworthy, generous, and other-centered. And I don't know what happens in your marriage, but sometimes I don't come across that way. And sometimes that's an unfair angle for her to use, but she doesn't use it unfairly. I think to say, I think a big failure of mine has been to be inconsistent in how well I do that, and it is infinitely more important to do that at home than it is. You were watching this video last night, and Matt's like, so it's you guys, it's like 12:30, and I'm completely stressed out, and he's like, hey, let's watch SportsCenter. I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And 20 minutes later, no, it's distracting. And he's like, hey, I understand you have some videos on. I'll watch one of these. So I was actually listening. I was like, no, it won't be distracting. It was totally distracting. In that, I'm talking a little bit just about the failure to have done it well at home. And I feel as if it's super easy to be the rock star at work and in front of the guest. And then we get home, and it's secondary. And that's backwards. It's upside down. It's completely upside down. And so if I have a great failure, it is probably that. It's that having my priorities
Okay,
reversed.
here's a new question. How do you intentionally implement biblical values and teaching into your unchurched staff? I think I might know the answer to this question, but that's a great question.
Somebody quoted me the Francis Assisi quote the other day. Who was that sitting at that table? You were in the room. I don't remember what it is.
If necessary, use words.
If necessary, use words. Does anyone know that quote? Okay, great. So I don't know, because I don't. So this is that situation where you all do and I don't. But that one, it's that one. It's the idea, preach the gospel every day, and if necessary, use words. I don't feel like it's my responsibility to bring them the gospel, to correlate for them, to give them the answers. We can't teach those who don't want to be taught. We can only inspire. That's the bad news. My job is not to teach them the gospel. My job is to try to be someone that might invoke curiosity. That's where I spend all of my energy. Can I be someone such that if you worked with me, you might wonder about the gospel? And maybe, just maybe after 20 years of working together, we have a sweet conversation.
Yeah. Well, my sort of observation and dream in looking at both of the operations that you all are involved in, the B999 parish, and the work that's happening at Canlis, my dream was that as I see the restaurant as almost a living lab of the Godspeed principles. I know it wasn't linear in that way, but it's kind of this parish that's not a parish, was that people would see their business as their parish, and you actually said your parish is your company. Wouldn't that be interesting if we could see things that way? Talk about that.
Do you think that you don't have a microphone, but you can use this one. Do you think that's true? Oh, you do have a microphone. Because I said that last night. Isn't this actually the case? But how would you? Is that a fair? Because you understand parish.
Yeah,
a
it's
little more
almost
than I
fair. There's actually 5 places that I try and root my life in Christ. The parish, which for you is the restaurant, for me is my job at church. The manse, which is the place I live, and manse is the number one place to live it out. So these things must be first lived at home. You heard me say that last night. Forget your business for a little bit. Think about your wife or your kids. Think about the people you live with. That's the manse, where it must be lived out first. There's the glebe. Glebe is a Scottish word for chunk of earth. In the old days, I didn't get a salary as a Church of Scotland person. I was given a glebe, which meant a piece of land attached to the manse that I had to work with my own hands to make food for my family. So the glebe is the place where you physically engage with God's creation to be a man of the earth, not just a man of a book or of people. So the parish is the place you work. The glebe is the place you work out something physically. The manse is the place you live this in your most important relationships. And the study is the other place. The study is, for me, it's a coffee shop where I go and read a book, and I don't talk to people, and I cultivate the life of the mind and the heart. So there's kind of geographical allies close to where you are that will hold you true to the vocations you have, but you need help.
It's the manse that people are not comfortable talking about. You have every right to go there. We can't, look, this reminded me of that video last night. I was talking to a chef in Chicago, a super talented kid, and his goal is to be the number one chef in the world. I said, that's awesome. What does that look like? He said, I don't know. But that's a problem. We can't get there if we don't know what it looks like. If you are the chef that everybody wants to cook like, but no one wants to become like, that's a problem. I would call that getting 50 out of 100 right on a test. Academically, we say that we're failing. In business, we're not as critical, are we? We reward someone who gets 50 right on a test and maybe is failing at home. The manse is really important here. And the minute that we deny that, or that we remove ourselves from that conversation with our people, we're so robbing them of what is most important. Who you're becoming as a person trumps what you're doing professionally all day long. And we're just not willing to go there. We'll talk about the parish, talk about the work. Yeah, I don't know how you can separate church and state. There's only one you. Period.
The parish, the manse, the glebe, and the study. Good words. You guys, thank you so much for being part of this. It's a very, I think, welcome breath of fresh air to everybody who saw their business as a business and maybe learned that their business is their parish. Would you guys agree?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.